Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie and here are 15 books to make you laugh when you quite possibly need one. So originally this recommendation video was going to be called 15 books to get you out of a reading slump with laughs, but then I started looking at this list that I had prepared, and some of the books are kind of hard-hitting, but they have laughs included. So I couldn't necessarily say that these books won't necessarily put you into a slump. They're not meaning to. They have really funny moments that are going to keep you engaged. So I figured I'd give them to you anyways and just change the name of it. There's 15 books that are going to make you laugh a little bit. In other words, here's 15 rom-coms that I think you should check out. So our first one that I'm going to talk about is A Desperately Seeking Roommate by Micalea Smeltzer. In this story, we have a young woman that is doing her thing, being on her own, but she also needs a roommate. And in walks a sports star that needs somewhere to stay, so he offers to be her roommate, and in that some antics ensue and things end up happening. Of course there's love, it's a romance, and it falls into the romantic comedy section in my life. Next I'm going to talk about Taming Him by Kennedy Fox, and I found that Kennedy Fox is a great place to find some really good laughs and some hard-hitting type moments and things like this, and that sometimes like that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And in this story you are met, or you come to know a rancher, a cowboy that ends up taking a vacation, and in walks this sort of clumsy, klutzy type of woman that smashes into his world, and antics ensue. I mean, crazy antics, and things end up happening. So they end up having fun together. Next we have The Mother Road by Meghan Quinn, and she is one of my go-to rom-com queens. She may show up later in this list. No, I think I tried to not put her on here multiple times because there are multiple books within Meghan Quinn's backlist that you should definitely check out, but this one in particular is about a road trip that goes awry, and you have a young woman that is with her father, and her brother, I think, goes along with them, and then a friend that used to have a crush on her, or she had a crush on him. There's some crushing that goes on between them, but it's a road trip story, and if you like road trip stories, this is probably an awesome one for you. And there are some fun little like sayings and antidotes and things like that that are placed within this book, but there is a touching message throughout it, and it can pull at your little heartstrings. I laughed all the way through it until probably the end of it is when it got me in my emotions, but for the most part, this is a fun book. Super fun book. Next, I'm going to talk about Loudmouth by Avery Flynn. I just recently read this book, and it had me laughing out loud. It's super sexy as well, because you start off with these two people that are mad at each other, and then they get snowed in together, and then some sexy times ensue. But then once they get out of that snowstorm and out of the cabin and everything like that, they're then pushed together even more while they're out on the road, because one's a hockey player and one's a journalist for the team, and them trying to keep their sort of lives not together but together was absolutely hilarious, and I loved it. Next, I'm going to talk about Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is one of those that is a little bit hard-hitting, but at the same time is going to give you lots and lots of laughs. So you have this woman that is very independent and strong and successful, and she's getting her PhD. She gets stuck in an elevator. The security guard that has been sort of obsessing over her and has a crush on her, she has a crush on him too, so it's a mutual crushing thing, but ends up saving her. They go viral because he ends up carrying her out of the building that from the elevator and saves her, and it goes viral, and things start to happen. Both of them are dealing with some trauma in their past lives and things like that, so it does have like a little bit of hard-hitting sort of feel to it, and there's content warnings. I don't want to say all of them in this video, so make sure you go and check the review that I did for it to find out more if you need trigger warnings. But I really enjoyed it. The funny parts were super funny and very touching, and I just really enjoyed this book. Next, we're going to talk about Blame It on the Billionaire by Naima Simone. This is another one that has a little bit of an undertone for some hard-hitting stuff, but for the most part, it's about a one-night stand during a blackout, and these two individuals end up hooking up, and it's fun, and there were some laugh-out moments because our female character is no-nonsense. She's not taking any crap from this CEO guy that is trying to, like, court her after their one-night stand, and she's like, no, I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. It was a one-time thing, right? Maybe. I don't know. The next book I'm going to talk about is A Secret for a Secret by Helena Hunting. And in this story, you get chaos and you get calm. You have two people that should not be together, that probably will destroy each other's worlds, but in the infinite powers that be, that is Helena Hunting, she brought these two characters together that are opposite sides and brought them together in its beautiful way, and the two of their antics that they end up getting together with for everything that ends up happening is super funny. Super funny. Next, we're going to talk about One Moment Please by Amy Daws. And this is a story about a one-night stand that goes awry, and there's a pregnancy, and the doctor happens to be the guy that she was lusting after before they even had the one-night stand, and just, woo! It's pregnancy. It has a pregnancy in it. And it was funny. The antics were hilarious. Next, we're going to talk about Aired Lines by Meghan Vernon. Did I just say the wrong book? Yes. I hope I didn't. Eek. Next, we have ConHeartists by Webster and J.D. Hollyfield. In this story, we have this free spirit young girl that is like wreaking havoc all over the world, all over the nation, things all over the country. I couldn't get that out. She has a little dog, and we have a guy that has to do one last job. Just one last job. And he ends up kidnapping this young woman that is like this free spirit. And things go crazy with the two of them traveling across the country. And it's just super funny. At moments, there were times where I was like, this is really off the walls. It's so off the walls. But then by the end of it, I was like, it all makes sense. It all made sense. It was funny. It was such a fun little road trip journey, and I loved every single moment of it. Next, we have Unlucky in Love by Cary Hart. And in this story, we have a woman that ends up breaking up with her boyfriend. We also have a best friend to that woman who happens to be a guy and happens to be a shock jock, and has a love show. Well, she goes in to vent her dissatisfaction to her breakup and cues herself to be on air. In turn, starts a show to find her a match. Well, maybe that match was already in her face, and the two of them with their antics are absolutely hilarious because, you know, best friends should never hook up, right? Never hook up. Next, we have A Pizza My Heart by Teagan Hunter, and we have a story of two friends that grew apart, had a crush on each other when they were young, but then one of them ends up leaving, and then one comes back. And it's like, well, why did you leave? If you had these feelings for me before, why did you leave? And I don't like you right now because you made me mad and you left me and you didn't give me any words and you didn't give me any sort of explanation on why you left. You just popped smoke and you broke my heart. So now there's some heart mending that needs to happen, and it all revolves around a pizza shop. And I loved it. Loved it. Next, we have The Hooker and the Hermit by L.H. Cosway and Penny Reid. This deals with rugby. I had no clue that I could love a rugby story oh so much. Like, seriously. So, a hooker is actually a position on the rugby team. It's a position, you know, like in soccer and things like that. So, we have this rugby player that has a sort of volatile and reputation to be very, very gruff. He comes to New York and needs sort of to talk to this PR company, this PR genius that is supposed to help him. Well, come to find out, this PR genius also has a secret life of her own, and she ridicules him right off the bat. And then come to find out, she's like, oh, I'm supposed to deal with him, and antics ensue. Some things end up happening. There's some sexy, sexy times, and I just really, really enjoyed it. The funny times really just touched my little heart, and I was like, yes, very much needed. Next, we have Girl Crush by Stephie Walls. In this story, we have a woman that is like, I'm done. I'm done. Men, I'm done with them. Done with them. And in walks one of her friends, brothers, and since she's like, I'm done with men, not doing it anymore, whatever, he thinks she's a lesbian. Well, come to find out, she'd be more than happy to warm his bed. So, this is their story of miscommunication between the two of them and them getting to know each other. Really loved it and think you guys should go check this out. Finally, we have The Duchess Deal by Tessa Dare. Yes, there is a historical romance on my list. I am hyping historical romance right now. In this story, we have a woman that sort of makes a deal with this guy to be his duchess and take care of his two little kids that are running around his house. I can't remember what the term is for it, but governess. And I'm talking about the wrong one then. Yeah, I think I'm talking about the wrong one. So, The Duchess Deal, not sure, but I think this whole series of books by Tessa Dare are funny. I'll just put all three of the books that I have read here because I think they're all fun. And I'm pretty sure the one that I was talking about is like the Duchess something or another. Duchess? Governess? Is the Governess something? Not the Duchess Deal. It's the Governess something. Can't remember. But I'll put, like I said, those three. And yeah, just go read those books. Just go read those books. Anyways, I completely blanked on that. I even had a list. I guess in my list I should have put a note for which books go to which. I don't know. Anyways, have you read any of those books? Let me know down in the comment section. Let's discuss them. They all gave me lots of laughs. I'm choking. Oh my god. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching. And, oh, Ko-fi, PayPal, down in the description box. Otherwise, just make sure you're opening the description boxes that I have down there because I have lots of information down there. Because then I have my Amazon wish list. I have my Amazon storefront that I'm trying to get better at. You know, maybe during the break, I'm being able to update that. I don't know. I have lots of things. Lots of things. And now I am rambling. But thank you for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.